What is indeed going on, Jerome's, as I tried to pull up my notes because it's been a bye week for us too. But your Vikings, somehow, some way, score 3 points and win against the Raiders. Again, I wish I was out in Vegas. It would have been great to see all the Jeromes and all the Vikings fans. But also, I'm super glad I didn't pay $300 for a ticket for this. Yikes. But a win is a win is a win. Vikings moved to 7-6, and we got some winners and losers from the game that was. Winner number one, the keg stand celebration. Now, first off, it was great. The announcer was like, "Oh, is this plyometrics or calisthenics or whatever?" Mark Sanchez is like, "Nope, nobody." But to go down the rabbit hole, first off, a keg stand. If you've ever been to college or just were young in general, you know what a keg stand is. And on the heels of Vikings offense coordinator Wes Phillips allegedly getting picked up for DWI on Friday, I wonder if this is a subtle shot from the defense to the offense. Where, I mean, the defense has been carrying this team for the last couple of weeks. Don't want to go start a controversy, but maybe this is just in the repertoire of turnover celebrations, but I mean, it was pretty widely reported about the Wes Phillips news, so players knew about it, and they still did this. It's hilarious, man. But that's winner number one. Winner number two, Ivan Pace Jr., baby. The pride of Cincinnati, undrafted, came here to the Vikings. We said he was going to be a star, and he's growing and showing every single week, man. He had 8 tackles in the first quarter. 13 for the game, had a sack, had a game-sealing interception. And the best part is we're just scratching the surface on how good Ivan Pace Jr. can be. I think that he can be a legit superstar for the Vikings. I think that he can even be incorporated more as a pass rusher. It's beautiful, man. Nick Mullins, winner, coming in for Josh Dobbs, 9-13 for 83 yards, 0 sacks. And he didn't reinvent the wheel. He just distributed the football. And Josh Dobbs was just not good. I think that the passionate time is over. It's dead and gone. So there you go. Nick Mullins needs to start. Personally, like I said, I would start Jaron Hall, but it's clear that Kevin O'Connell has more trust in Nick Mullins, and we're going to go from there, and we're going to be on to Cincinnati. Winner number 3, Brian Flores, where this defense... elite yet again. I mean, this defense has been really damn good all season, but they're rounding into form, and frankly, they're one of the best defenses in the league, maybe the best. But the Raiders were 3 of 14 on third down, 202 yards. You're at home, 202 yards. 0 points. That's kind of big. Also, they've allowed 1 touchdown in the last 12 quarters of football. They're averaging 6 points per game allowed over the last 2. Now, the Vikings are 1-1 because the offense couldn't do jack squat against the Bears, which is frustrating, man. But I mean, Brian Flores, he deserves another head coaching job. Selfishly, I hope he stays for another year. But again, he's turning in one of the best defenses in the league with the guys that largely were here last year. The defense that gave up 431 yards and 31 points to Daniel freaking Jones. Ryan Wright. So Ryan Wright has been booty throughout most of the year, but he did some damn good work on Sunday in Vegas. He had 8 punts, 47.9 yard average, 4 inside the 20, 0 touchbacks, which have been his issue this year. So I mean, yeah, Ryan Wright did do well, and the Vikings needed every single one of his punts, man, because it turned into a battle of field position and attrition. That's what happened, man. Also, Greg Joseph had a nice little pooch punt, too. Cam Beasley, Cam Bynum, great with run fills. Third down pass breakup was huge, 4 tackles, and Bynum and Metellus are playing at a Pro Bowl level. They are. Metellus, forced fumble, 7 tackles was great. Hawkinson basically was just like dragging this thing along. He had 5 catches for 53 and 8. Most of them were with Mullins. Set a single season receptions record for the Vikings for a tight end, which is beautiful. I mean, had Rudy and had Steve Jordan, and Hawkinson is coming out on top, man. Daniil Hunter, even though he didn't register a sack, he generated a number of pressures that resulted in sacks for Dye and Wanham, and he was just a presence out there, and he was great setting the edge against the run as well. Caleb Evans, again, not a performance that's going to stuff the stat box, but 2 tackles, did good work on the perimeter, contains and run fits, as well as contained Devontae Adams to a large degree. Harrison Phillips Harrison Phillips is low-key having the best season of his career. Got himself a sack and patrolling the inside against the run. Wanham had himself a sack plus 5 tackles. He's earned himself a little bit of money, whether here or somewhere else next offseason. Justin Jefferson, this one sucks, man. But did get the update from the beat writers that JJ was back in the locker room. He did go to a local hospital, check out his chest injury, but left early, and it sucks. I mean, he was left out to dry by Dobbs. So, yeah, but 2 catches for 27. So prayers up for his health, and hopefully he can return Saturday against the game. Ooh, Jamar Chase Bowl. LSU, go ahead. Greg Joseph hit the game winner. Now, he missed the game winner early, which is crazy to say, but Greg did make the 36-yarder when it counted. Kevin O'Connell. So, there's a lot of issues with Kevin O'Connell in this game, but good challenge on the Trey Tucker non-catch, as well as making the quarterback change when he needed to. Now, could you have said maybe it was a little bit too late? Maybe they should have made the change at halftime? Sure, but I like that he maximized his chances with Dobbs, even though the game plan with Dobbs was not great. But, yeah, he made the change, and now hopefully have the fortitude to stick with that change. Losers, so Kevin O'Connell off the bye. You had 2 weeks, and that was your game plan. The entire offense was garbage, and the game plan wasn't good. Yes, injuries were stacking up, but the offensive line was not good. Josh Dobbs' accuracy was all over the place, even though we knew that he wasn't. He's not Kirk Cousins. Like, we know that. And also the whole thing about Dobbs, like, his mobility was the number one key, and you didn't utilize that. I mean, Dobbs had 5 carries, and only 2 of them were by design. It's ridiculous. Brian O'Neill, before he sprained his ankle, was getting cooked by Crosby. It's 2 weeks in a row. Montez Sweat against the Bears. That Brian O'Neill has not looked good. The entire offensive line, yeah, you could say injuries suck. Ed Ingram not playing. That does impact communication. Blake Brandel was sort of, Reisner got dinged up. Bradbury did not have a good game as a whole, but I mean, the offensive line needs to step up their game because, hey, analytics-wise, in the middle of the season said that the Vikings had a top 5 O-line. Prove it. KJ. So KJ made a couple nice catches down the stretch, but he also had some major drops. And what really sucks is that KJ is our guy, and he was a borderline wide receiver too last year, but this year, he's just gotten lost in the ether. Now, you could say, yes, it's Kirk Cousins, but next man up. And with JJ out for an extended period of time, Osborne had a chance to step into that power vacuum. He didn't. Greg Joseph missed that first one in the first half, which could have been the game winner. Byron Murphy Jr., he did have a couple of nice stops, but he did give up that long play that basically sort of broke open the second half, that 38-yarder to Hunter Renfrow, but then settled down, and there you go. And also injuries. I mean, how many injuries can one team have and still be viable? But JJ went out after like 2 seconds. O'Neal got hurt. Madison got hurt. Reisner got dinged up, but he returned. It's just attrition at this point, man. But the Vikings are still rolling along. Vikings are 7-6. It still spends the same. And the Vikings were on to Cincinnati. It's going to be a short week. Vikings will have their first official practice on Tuesday. But, I mean, Cincy's going to be tough. I mean, Jake Browning can distribute the football. He's got playmakers out there. Cincy is sniffing the playoffs as well. And it's going to be a little bit tough. But then you got 3 division games. The Lions are forwards. The Packers are forwards. And the Vikings, whoever's under center, whether it's Mullins or Jaron Hall, roll in and take care of business. I mean, the defense is playing at a Super Bowl caliber level, and offensively, hey, Kevin O'Connell, you're an offensive coach. Hey, Wes Phillips, you're an offensive coach. Figure this ish out. Put up some points on offense. You got talent there, and knocking on all the wood. If they can stay healthy, sky's the limit. So there you go. Anyways, that's it. That's winners and losers from Vikings 3, Raiders nothing. Hey, you notice how small they put the final score? It's almost like they're not proud of it. But let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.